You can
Yes.
answer me. Uh, while I was teaching when I was at Chandler, uh, I was asked if I would transfer to Dixie Canyon because they needed a math teacher. They had the policy in the sixth grade to departmentalize. The others, grammar schools are self-contained, and you teach all subjects in one class. And in this, at Dixie Canyon, their math teacher was retiring, so they hired me. And the first year, I was encountered with a custom that they had that none of my other schools had, none of the other schools did. And that was at the end of the year, the last 8 weeks before June, they had this class, which they called the mini class. And this was created to give the students an opportunity to be exposed to the various arts or things that are not in the regular curriculum. And most of it was either arts, music, sports, and I wasn't good in any of those. So I was stuck with what was I going to do. And thinking about one thing or another, this happened to be, it was during the ethnic studies program that was going on in the district, and I was taking in services on that. And all of a sudden I thought, I was almost going to start specializing in Hispanic ethnic studies, taking extra classes, because when you take extra classes, you get points for increase. So you're always taking these extra classes. And so I thought I'll take Hispanic studies. And at one time, I just, asked myself, why Hispanics? Why not Armenian? And then to myself, who's going to come to my class in Armenian? They don't know what an Armenian is. There's no Armenians here. But I just said, I'm going to try that. I asked my principal, Betty Friedman, could I try this? Now, she had 2 Armenian teachers there already. And so the school was used to Armenian teachers with the IAN. And there were 1 or 2 Armenians had passed through the school, but that was it. Basically, there weren't Armenian students there. And so she said that she put it on in the bulletin that Armenian culture. And among the 4th, 5th, and 6th grades, there are over 1,000 kids. And they would scatter around picking the class they wanted to attend to. The sports took the most. And some music classes took some history, art history or something, whatever a kid was interested in. And in my class, 11 students showed up. Now, the night before, I really did not plan anything because I had to find out who was going to come in and why did they come in. And then I could figure out what to do. And so when they came, I'm looking at them and chuckling to myself, why are they here? So I could have even asked. I forgot. I knew that I got their names, and I realized that one kid was half Armenian. His father was Armenian. And so immediately I wrote the 2 teachers' names, my name, and his name. So there's a row of 4 names on the blackboard, and I asked the kids, what do you see here? What's the pattern? I-A-N. All the names end in I-A-N. I says, that's how you identify an Armenian. And then I asked the boy, I said, what do you know about yourself? Shish kebab. My father always, whenever I go on Sundays to my father's house, we have shish kebab. And I thought, oh, jeez, what a way to start. And...
Did he know anything about the genocide, the boy? When did you expose the students to the genocide issue?
Oh, each... so I didn't know what to do that day. So immediately this guy is now all excited because he's a special kid in the class. And, and again, I had nothing prepared. I have an hour to use. So immediately I thought, just fake it. And I wrote, Lee's name, think, it was right the way I spelt his name in Armenian. I had tried in the past to learn it. So with my crude knowledge, I wrote his name, and all of them wanted their name. Now, this guy is now boasting he's an Armenian. And he's really a shish kebab Armenian, but, he's not a special kid in the class. And I took on that. I took on that boy. And so I told the kids, next week I'll have all of your names written in Armenian, and just bring your colored markers, and I will show you how to make Armenian letters. So I had just a few manuscripts, and I really wanted to have them make the various types of letters, fish letter or bird letters. And this is why, and that they're colorful. This is why I said bring your colorful markers. And so my father had written, I had given him a slip of paper, and, in large letters, he wrote each of their names. So I passed that out to them. They were so eager to get this. Immediately, quietly, each one is ready. They're looking. I told them about the fish letters and the bird letters, and the thing is, the manuscripts are so beautiful that it just attracted the kids. And so immediately you see their heads are down, and throughout the whole hour, not head rose up. I'm watching them, and I'm chuckling to myself. And how easy is this? And so I had prepared myself to read a story about Mesrop Mashtos, the invention of the alphabet. So they have some background about the alphabet.
And when did you start talking to them about the genocide?
Oh, that took on April 24th, whenever April 24th came. I waited for it. So this was, it had to be, it was, well, yeah, June, April, May, June. So April 24th came at the right time for me, because it was, I think, the third week. And so on the third week, I asked, in my mind, I was going to talk about the genocide. But I didn't know exactly what to say, and I thought the nice thing to do, the easiest thing to do was to show Michael's film. But then I thought, oh no, and I have at this point forgotten exactly what's in the film. What was I afraid of? But I am, and I got a new tape there so I could look at it to see what was it that made me think of showing that film, and they'll understand what the genocide is about. But as soon as it came out of my mouth, I thought, oh, what if a parent objects? I always have to be careful with what I'm doing, could I have parent objections? And I don't want this class to have a problem. So I said, I'd like each one of you to have the week before, parental approval, because you get a parent approval for a lot of things. And so I says, I want a parent approval. Could you see this movie? And the kids all shouted out, Miss Chitjian, on TV we see this all the time. This is not new to us. This was a sophisticated school, and I knew what they were, what they were talking about. So, I didn't get parental permission, and after they saw the film, I saw we had a discussion, and hands are going up. And, I'm calling on a guy, and he says, Miss Chitjian, does our government know about this? He was so sure that if our government knew about this, they would help us. And I just quickly said, yes, our government knows about this. And, I just left it at that. I don't want to create controversy. I'm still a little hesitant about parental, what kind of, am I spreading propaganda or something? You don't want to do that. You don't want to spoil the situation. So, and I keep wondering, ever since then, these 11 kids, when they hear news, they've grown up now. They're probably all already 50 and more years old. Have they done anything? Are they pro-Armenian? It really means a lot to know, but I have no way of finding out. The only way I could find out is if I make contact with this one girl, and she will find, assuming she has contact with some of her friends. And so that was, after that, I had no qualms about teaching about the Armenian genocide. And it's through a film, and I can't get too political. This is elementary school. And so I did a program each year, though. I made a point of doing an Armenian program. And I made a point of teaching from our arts to our music, etc. And one of the points was the Armenian genocide. I did that after this particular program. I made a point of doing that.
And do you want to talk a little about the fact that you showed Michael's film and your father was an interviewee in it?
Oh, one of the things after I showed the film, and I pointed out, this is my father, this is my father. Now, the kids were all excited, and it really made me feel good because there was this liking for my father. And when April 24th did come, I took permission to take that half Armenian. Well, there were another two boys were half Armenians within the group. They weren't in my class, but they were one of the other sixth graders. And so I got permission from their parents. And at that year, the Armenians were they were at the City Hall in Los Angeles. So I drove the kids down there, and for them to experience, how we celebrate the 24th. So.
Okay, let's take a 5-second break,
okay.
Sarah.